Ours is an era of action. More people than ever before are joining a cause.
How'd you like yours, Ed? I'll take it on the plate anytime.
Crusading for their particular way to remake the world. And the din is rising.
Anybody else want one here? Got one all ready to go.
Listen, save that rare one for me. I mean, the lean one, okay?
The world's coming apart at the seams, and all they're concerned about is medium rare or well done.
Hey! What you doing, Nick?
Hi, Bishop. Just blowing off a little steam, that's all. I didn't mean to disturb anybody. The door was open, so I just came on in.
No problem. Haven't seen you for a while, Nick. How you been?
Okay, fine. I've been fine. Well, I guess I better get going so you can get back to your reports or whatever.
Oh, that's all right. If you got a few minutes, why don't we chat?
Yeah. What about?
Oh, just things in general. Tell you what, I'll buy you a malt or a sundae or something.
Okay. You know, Bishop, you're pretty cool. But I still don't know what you really wanted to talk to me about.
Oh, I just wanted to know how you're feeling these days, Nick, about the church.
Because that really means why haven't I been coming to more meetings lately, right?
Well, that's part of it. I've been your bishop a long time. I've seen you grow up from a small boy to a young man. You've always been a natural leader, active in scouting, active in priesthood. But here lately, I've noticed a kind of discontent, a dissatisfaction. I'd just like to know why.
Bishop, I guess it's... Well, I just don't see it. I mean, sometimes I think the church just isn't where it's at all.
Where is it at?
Any place where there's some real action. I mean, I go to church, I sit and sit. The whole world is falling apart and I'm just sitting there. I'm just not doing anything. And neither are a lot of other people.
Go on.
I don't mean to put my folks down, Bishop. They're good people and I love them. But sometimes I don't think they even live in the real world.
There's a lot to be said, Nick, for just raising a good family, loving your children.
Oh, they love me all right, if I do the right things. Play the games their way. I think that's all just super shallow. I mean, be in the right places, have the right friends, wear the right clothes, don't have sideburns, choose the right college, impress everybody, big deal. I don't want to sound noble or anything, Bishop, but this rotten world needs more than all that.
I know. But as far as your folks go, Nick, maybe you don't see the whole picture. They've done a lot of good that you don't even realize. For instance...
Yeah, I know, Bishop, and I shouldn't get uptight, but... Well, I'll tell you, sometimes I feel like just chucking the whole works, like my cousin Ron did.
Oh?
He's up north in a commune. Just lives there with a bunch of his hippie friends. I've been writing him, but he hasn't answered.
Do you think he's found the answer?
I don't know. I can sure see how he got fed up with some of the phony baloney the straight world hands out. I mean, he just had it, you know? But now, at least he thinks he's doing something about the really important stuff, like love and all.
I want you to know something, Nick. Many choice spirits are being sent to the earth in these last days. And I think you're one of them. And you're being sold a bill of goods by two fronts who don't have the real thing at all. There are those among the so-called establishment who are materialistic, superficial. They don't have it. And the new revolutionaries who are trying to destroy it, they don't have it either.
So who does?
Only the gospel of Jesus Christ. His is the only cause worth joining because it's the only one that will last. You know, if you young people could just see who you really are and the destiny you've been sent here to fulfill, your job is to prepare a people worthy of the return of the Son of God. Those aren't just words, Nick. I believe it. I know it. And time's running out.
Bishop, I want to do something. I've been active in the church all my life, you know that. But if the church is really where it's at, then how come we're not doing more?
I'm glad you asked that question. Nick, I'm impressed with your ability. I have a lot of confidence in you. The reason I wanted to talk with you, and I'm more certain of it now than ever, is I'm calling you to the position of the priest group leader. Now, a big part of your job will be assisting me as a leader in the Bishop's Youth Committee.
Oh, no. When I said I wanted to do something, I didn't mean plan parties and all that bit.
Neither did I. Oh, a party once in a while never hurt anyone. But we've more important things to do. We've got to involve all those kids in the ward. Up until now, we haven't had the vision of what the Bishop's Youth Committee can really be.
Don't look at me, I don't have it.
You will. All that dedication and fire you've got for making a better world just needs a little structure, a channel. Now, the priesthood of the church and its auxiliaries are the basic structure. But the Bishop's Youth Committee is a special tool to channel all those energies you've got. All the good you can do.
What do you mean by good, Bishop?
I mean good, Nick, just the way you mean it. In making better lives, in making a better world. And I have a surprise for you. Some of our fellow saints are way ahead of us in just the way you've been talking about. In fact, I've been checking up on how some of the young people have been putting the gospel into action. Would you like a sundae, Nick?
Oh, sure.
Chocolate, okay?
Yeah, fine.
2 chocolates, please. Look here, Nick. The LDS Student Association is really a going concern. Like in Los Angeles, transporting those in ghetto areas to doctor's appointments. Other college groups, providing tutoring and special programs for children, such as providing a Christmas party for 7,500 underprivileged children in Venice, California. Other college students have a reading program for patients in the Children's Hospital. The MIA's done a lot too, such as providing conservation and cleanup programs. The church has always been involved in welfare, both its own members and for others. For instance, when the California fires hit, many wards involved themselves in helping out. And when news of the Peruvian earthquake came, the church flew down tons of emergency supplies.
I didn't know all that, Bishop. That's really cool.
But you don't have to look that far. Right here in our own ward, we have people starving for love and attention. People suffering from inequality, material and social. Spiritual ghettos right here in our own ward. We have some families that have all those problems.
Like the Robins?
For one, I have an appointment to see them this afternoon. She's still down from an operation, and the children, you know, they hardly ever come out to church.
It's worse than that, Bishop. Kurt's on drugs.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there's a lot of kids at school doing dope. He's one of them. I can see why his folks fight all the time. They're really messed up.
Well, Nick, there's your challenge. If you really want to do something for the world, why don't you start with the Robbins family? See what you and the Bishop's Youth Committee can do.
Church. I guess I can't say I've really given it a fair try lately. The Robbins family, some assignment. But if the gospel really works, it ought to be able to make their lives better. Maybe this is the way to find out. Project number 1, then. The Robbins family, okay? And let's keep it to ourselves. Bishop?
Thank you, Nick. You'll be working with Brother Clough here, the Robbins home teacher. And in this project, as in all that we do, let's keep in mind the 4 major goals of the Bishop's Youth Committee. Communication, involvement, development of future leaders, and rendering unselfish service.
Probably the first thing we should do about the Robins is just get to be friends, right?
Good idea, Nick. No better way, really. Can you girls do that? Go out of your way to be friends to Barbara Robbins?
Yeah, sure.
What about you, Debbie?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Well, she's just sort of weird.
Have you ever really talked to her?
Well, no.
Bishop, may I make assignments?
You bet.
Debbie, you're assigned to spend 5 minutes talking to Barbara before we meet next week.
Thanks a lot.
Wait a minute, you got it easy. I'm assigning myself to Kurt, her brother. You want to trade?
No, thanks.
And the rest of you, too. Not just the members of the youth committee, all the kids in the ward. Let's all start being their friends.
All I hear anymore is 4 o'clock in the morning, automobiles, motorcycles.
Me, you have a lot of college. You're driving your bull.
Not going nowhere tonight.
Hey, this is Kurt. I need some, okay, I'm sorry I'm late. No, I had a fight with my dad. Yeah, he's always uptight. Look, haven't I always been straight with you before? All right, I'll pick it up tomorrow night. What? I told you, leave my sister Barbara out of this. Okay, tomorrow night.
Hi, Barbara.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
Okay. How are you?
Just great. Barbara, aren't these new colors neat?
Well, I just can't decide between this one and this one. Well, pink's my best color. At least that's what they told me in homemaking last year. I guess this one's best for me.
Yeah, probably. Well, bye.
Barbara?
Hi, Kurt.
Hi.
Hi. What you doing?
Just messing with my fuel line.
Anything we can do?
Nope, I got it.
Well, hey, there's a party on at MIA tonight. Just thought you might like to come, that's all.
I got a better party lined up. You guys have fun at Meadsville, huh?
I can guess what type of party he's talking about.
Yeah, pot.
Well, we tried.
Yeah, well, take it easy, Richard.
I really haven't had a chance to talk to Barbara, so... Oh, here comes Nick.
Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Any luck? No, I've been trying to talk to that guy for a week.
If Kurt would just talk to you, that'd be progress.
Yeah. Well, we can't give up. Well, how about you, Debbie? Any luck with Barbara?
Not yet.
Yeah, keep trying.
Hey, I've got an idea. Kurt's a real bug on motors, right? Well, what if we were to get a car?
Hey, that might work. Could be it, yeah. Hi, Mom.
What are you so excited about?
I finally found someone in the ward with a broken down car, that's what.
I beg your pardon?
I'll tell you about it later. Hello, is Kurt there, please? Thank you. Come on, just tend to your plans. Hello, Kurt? This is Nick. Listen, I need some help. Some of the kids in the ward are taking over special projects. You know, doing things for people that need it. You know Sister May down on 3rd? Yeah, well, I asked her if there was anything we could do for her. She told me about this broken down car she had that she's been too broke to take in for repairs. I told her I'd be there tomorrow. Listen, Kurt,
You gotta help me, because I don't know a thing about cars. And you know everything about them. Will you help me? Hey, great. I'll tell you what, I'll pick you up tomorrow about 10, okay? Okay, bye.
Won't work, man.
What do you mean? We haven't even tried to start it yet.
But I know what you're trying to do. And I don't mind helping you out. But I just don't make the church scene.
Come on, Kurt. Don't knock it when you haven't tried it. We've got some really good things going. Like the Bishop's Sunday evening discussions. We all get together for a while. We talk about some really important stuff. Like this week, we're going to have a discussion on drug abuse. We all go out and get some information on the subject, then we bring it in and we talk about it.
Get in.
We just figured it was something we all ought to know about, you know, since it's getting to be such a big deal these days. Oh, hey, why don't you come, Kurt?
Try it now.
Okay. Hey, it started!
About your meeting. I don't know. I'll think about it.
We'd like to thank everyone for bringing your information on drugs tonight, especially Rich and Debbie. Nick, I believe you had something to add.
Thanks, Bishop. I finally got a letter from a cousin of mine who's been, well, absent for a while. I know he won't mind my sharing parts of it with you. And so, as soon as I take care of a few things here, I'm coming home. I was looking for peace and love and brotherhood, but what I mostly got was a bad case of hepatitis. I've got news, Nick. At least it's news to me. Drugs don't have it. First I thought, wow, this is the answer. That's just what Satan wanted me to think. But once he gets you into it, it turns rotten. Some of my friends are so burned out, they don't even recognize their own families. Some are really heavy into crime. Drugs are destroying everything that started out to be good about the movement. There's no peace and brotherhood in destroying yourself and other people, too. I've lost a lot of ground, and I'm going to have to fight hard to get back where I was and stay on top of it. What a lot of time I've wasted. And worst of all, I had the real thing, the church, and I still fell for the counterfeit. I hope to help others to not make the same mistakes I did.
I don't know. Might have been different if my folks had cared much about the church, or even about being a real family. Maybe it wouldn't have got so messed up. Like, I don't think I've heard my mom and dad ever say they loved me. Ever.
Have you ever said it to them?
No.
It's kind of hard to put the whole blame on them, you know. I mean, okay, so they gave you a lousy start. Probably someone else did the same thing to them.
Yeah, vicious circle, huh?
Only, Kurt, somewhere along the line, it can be broken. We can change. Change other people, too. If we want to.
I guess I want to. I mean, I'm not sure I like where I've been. There's got to be something better.
We'd like to help you, Kurt. Help your folks, too. What do you say?
I don't know how. Dad was hurt pretty bad a few years ago by some gossipy ward members.
Too bad.
Mom, she'd probably like to be active, but she's been so sick lately she couldn't go to church if she tried.
What if we take the church to her?
Like what?
Like our youth committee having a cottage meeting in your home. That's exactly the sort of thing the priest quorum is supposed to be doing. How about it?
Why not?
Kurt?
Yeah.
If we do, will you give one of the talks?
Talk? Forget it, man.
It was Barbara. Barbara? Can I talk to you for a minute?
Yeah, I guess so.
You know about the cottage meeting, don't you?
Yes.
Well, I'm giving one of the talks. I'd like to say something that would help your mom, but, well, I really don't know her at all, how she feels about anything. I thought maybe you could tell me a few things, sort of help me figure out what to say.
Yeah, sure.
Do you have a free period?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it now.
Okay.
I thought we could start out saying something about your mom, and then...
Dad?
Hmm?
Where's that scripture about judge not that ye be not judged?
Sermon on the Mount, I believe. Try Matthew.
Okay, thanks.
How do the Robins feel about you going over there?
Kurt said his mother was rather pleased. Said his father didn't know what to think. Kurt's really been changing. He used to be sort of so belligerent, but I guess that was just a front.
Just like his dad. When I used to home teach there, boy, he'd never open up. Oh, he'd grunt and nod and thank us for coming. Then I'd say, well, if there's anything I can help you with, just let me know. Then one day he said, there is something you can do for me. You can help me reshingle my roof at 5:30 in the morning. Then he laughed like he just told the best joke in the world. Boy, was he surprised when I showed up.
You did?
I spent the whole day there. He finally opened up. He's a good man, son.
How come you never told me about that?
Well, you never asked me.
Here it is. Sermon on the Mount. Thanks, Dad.
It's all right, son.
Hey, Nick, I finally talked to Barbara.
Hey, that's great. I'm glad you spoke to her.
Yeah, we spent a whole class period together.
Could she help you with your talk?
Oh, sure, she gave me some great ideas. Well, she even offered to help me call the others.
Listen, you call your list and I'll call mine. Oh, remind them to fast before the cottage meeting, okay?
Yeah, okay. We'll call them.
Okay, bye.
I guess that if we could see this life from a more long-range point of view, we'd feel better about the problems that we have. In fact, the Lord has come right out and told us that we have weaknesses so that we can overcome them and become strong. So somehow, whatever the problems that we have, poverty, or pride, or temptations, or a lot of sickness, maybe those are the very problems the Lord knew would bring us the kind of growth we need. So if we just do the best we can and have faith in Him, in the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Thank you, Debbie. Before we close tonight, there's a few things that I'd like to say. Funny how you can grow up in a church and never really know what it's all about. But then somehow you get involved. And then there it is. Up until now, the church has been like, sort of like a play I was watching. Real nice, you know, but no big deal. But tonight, I'm part of it. And it really feels great. I'm looking forward now to everything else the church has to offer. LDSSA at college, institute, Sunday school, everything. Kurt and I have been talking about the priesthood, and I'm just beginning to discover it. And going on a mission. There's a lot of people that I want to tell all this about. Because I feel that if everyone was just living the gospel, pretty soon most of the problems of the world would just take care of themselves. Well, does anyone else have anything they'd like to add?
I want to say thanks. You know, I thought we'd been forgotten by everybody, but all of you coming here, well, it's meant more than I can say. Thank you.
You know, seeing you kids doing what you're doing really makes me feel ashamed. I've been putting the young people down and it seemed like they weren't much at all, but tonight you've really taught me a lot. And I hope that I won't be too stubborn to learn.
okay?
Yeah. But I've just never felt this way before. People care. They really care. I want to tell them that I really appreciate them. Tell my mom and dad that I love them. But I just can't find the words.
They'll come.
Yeah.
Coming back inside?
In a minute.